what's his name? Um, Tony Robbins. He talked about affirmations, and they're good. They do work if you put your intent in there. And it's very simple, not complicated at all. Just pick your top 10 traits, energetic habits, behaviors, mindsets that you would like to be in throughout the day, and say them, ask for guidance regarding those, ask to be in that space as much as possible. And if you fall out of it, or if you go into negative behaviors or old patterns, if you've been stuck in self-bashing or self-doubt or just low energy in general, just repeat to yourself throughout the day. Take your top 10, top 5, top 1, doesn't matter. There isn't a certain way to do it, but like the ones I use generally are presence, keep me present, keep me in heart space rather than ego space, keep me connected to source, spirit, God, higher self, all that, all the time. That one from Mutant Down Under, they had a good one. It was allow every action, every thought that I have be for the highest good for myself and the highest good for every other living being here. That's kind of a Buddhist sort of mindset. Keep me in health. If you don't want a bunch of thoughts, keep me help me to stay in silence, contemplation. Love, keep me in love. Keep me in wonder and awe. Help me to remember, because we forget a lot of things. We forget sometimes best habits if we are getting pulled at by the ego construct. So those are generally the ones I kind of repeat throughout the day, especially if I'm in sort of an energy sink or in a low spot. Because whatever your intent is, and wherever you put your energy the most throughout the day, even if it's just mentally at first, it will start creating a habit, a thought habit, and your thoughts do create your reality at some point. If you're constantly thinking about worry and problems and conspiracy theories, any of the stuff that we see on a daily basis, if you're thinking constantly about the negative things that seem to exist out there, like pedophilia or torture, rape, murder, sacrifices, all these things, okay, I'm not saying to ignore those things. There is a time and a place for every issue to be dealt with. Not every single individual is responsible for dealing with all issues. These are assigned to whoever it's most pertinent to. Self-assigned or other assigned, it doesn't matter how it gets there. Everything is handled by the appropriate person or entity, and you as the lone individual inside your bubble are not responsible for everything. So even to remember that and to keep mindful of that allows you to not overwhelm yourself with responsibility of having the world on your shoulders or something like that, because if you do take that mindset on, then you'll be so overwhelmed that you won't even be able to help someone with a smile or with a hello. Even if you're talking to so-called NPCs or robotoids, it doesn't matter. If you treat them well, then that attitude and overall behavior carries on over to those whom you would consider more present, or like Aurora would say, a more true version of themselves on this timeline. So yeah, just positive affirmations. The negative affirmations aren't as good because that keeps your mind on the negative side. If you say, I don't want to be sad, your mind just hears sad, so it takes an appropriate stance to that. But yeah, positive affirmations are very beneficial, and I use them every day. Sometimes you're in just like a really bad, really low spot, and it doesn't matter what you do. You know, you just got to write it out, get through it. You can try positive affirmations, but sometimes if you're in such a dark spot, you know, it just doesn't work. But even in that case, you know, there are Bible verses that are good. Like I used to think about that one that said, "This too shall pass," you know, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, which was really long. It lasted for years and years in various levels. Sometimes if it was too excruciating or too painful, too horrifying even, I just remember that Bible verse, "This too shall pass." It all passes. No matter how hard it is, it all passes at some point. Sometimes you just, you know, hunker down and wait for the war, internal or external, to pass over, and then you're back to baseline.